Who's eating good? Served by Applebee's. I'll tell you who, Justin Herbert. He's got the Browns, Jay. QB 19 for Matthew this week, but the pass rate has gone significantly up for this team. Does it put him back on the fantasy radar?
Well, firstly, I just want to say I echo Jim Harbaugh's thoughts, just being around greatness every day.
Thank you. I appreciate
with you,
that.
Connor. Just makes me respect what you play through every single day, having to be in this kind of level of proximity to Matthew Berry daily. Look, with Herbert,
terrifying thought.
The thing with Herbert is that, one, he's still Justin Herbert. And I think everyone thinks that Justin Herbert on talent is a top 7 quarterback in the NFL, that type of range. And yes, he doesn't have the receiving weapons, but I think Ladd McConkey has showed enough. Quentin Johnson has taken steps forward. Josh Palmer is still a guy. And he has a really strong offensive line. Like, he has one of the best tackle situations in the entire NFL with Rashawn Slater and Joel back healthy. And I think that the first couple of weeks, he was just really, really banged up. And also, they were blowing teams out, and he didn't have to do that much. And now we're seeing that, you know, he's still being Justin Herbert. And I think that that makes him, look, the lack of elite pass catching options, that's always going to limit his ceiling. But I think that Herbert, he can be in 2 quarterback leagues. Certainly, you'd probably have to start him every week. He plays the Browns, and that defense is getting better, and you still got to deal with Myles Garrett, obviously. But the fact that Denzel Ward is really banged up, I would say he's the second most important player on that defense. And also the fact that, as well, the fact that it's Jameis kind of makes Herbert more appealing from a fantasy perspective, because I don't think they're just going to be able to, you know, run the ball 25 times with J.K. Dobbins and run out the game. This line is hovering around pick, so you suspect that he's going to have to throw a bit. So yeah, Herbert, viable QB2.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my sheriff's badge just for that first part of yours.
You don't think he's top 7 on talent?
No. It's
Connor,
still.
can you chime in?
Top 7. Well, let's do the exercise. We have a minute here.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar. We can get that right out of the way. Burrow.
How many is that?
Where's the combo with Jaden Daniels right now?
Yeah, he's in that mix.
Jaden Daniels.
Right,
That's 5.
Dak Prescott. You'll say no now.
No. Just
Tua.
CJ Stroud, arguably.
Stroud.
Right.
He might be number 7.
Love.
Yeah.
Love is where that's where people are going to start arguing.
Yeah.
It's at number 7, I think, between
what if we
Herbert,
give-
Love.
Yeah, what if we give Justin Herbert, Matt LaFleur, and those receivers? Like, he probably looks a bit better.
He
I
did.
think he's a
He had him his first 3 years.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
For Justin Herbert, right? Like so the first 3 years of his career.
And he threw for 5,000 yards. And
Right.
he led the to the playoffs.
Right.
Brandon Staley.
Right. He averaged 39.5 passing attempts per game.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it now, right? That's why before week 5, he hadn't had a 200-yard passing game. You start throwing the ball 35 times a game, where you should be having 300 or 240 plus passing yards. So that's what, like, if he's doing that, then I think that, you put him back on the fantasy radar for sure. Even with the he does have lack of talent at receiver now. He didn't have it in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
He had the talent, but now he's got it. Their best receiver is a rookie, a good one, a very good one who's coming into his own. But even with the pass catchers, if Justin Herbert is throwing that ball 35 plus times a game, I would start him in fantasy every single week, because he does have the arm talent to do that. So, and at that point, I wouldn't care who at receiver if you throwing the ball that much, right? And I do agree with your point about if you're not that effective running the ball consistently, you can't just keep doing it.
Yep.
A lot of people will say, why didn't the Ravens keep running versus the Browns? Well, besides a 39-yard run, Derrick Henry was shut down by the Cleveland Browns, so they had to throw, right? So if J.K. Dobbins isn't Derrick Henry every week, so you're going to have to throw. And look, it's led to wins for them when Justin – it didn't used to lead to wins when he was throwing all them 35 attempts per game. The past 3 games, they've won 2 of them when he's did this. So if it's leading to wins, we love it, and we definitely love it in fantasy. But top 7 talent, I don't know, fellas.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we're agreeing on the top 3 guys, and Burrow's probably 4th. Then I'd say that Stroud, Daniels, Herbert, Love, I'd say they're all clustered together ahead of Purdy and Hurts and those.
I'll say this, though,
Dak,
about
Tua.
Justin Herbert.
I agree.
I'm more impressed with Justin Herbert this season than any of them seasons with 4,000 passing yards, and because they're winning for one, and he playing some solid football right now. So I would definitely
Top
give
7
him.
talent.
I like the concept of the sheriff's badge. You might keep that around for when Matthew's back.
I had to lay the law.
Yeah, we might just keep that the entire year. I'll tell you who else is eating good. Calvin Ridley, finally. He's got the Patriots. Did last week change your outlook on Ridley? I mean, look at this, Lawrence. 15 targets, 10 catches, 143 yards. That is all more than his previous 5 games combined.
Yeah, I remember for like 5 weeks straight, we kept talking about 140-yard catch that he had for like 5
against
weeks.
The Jets.
The thing about this is going to be what's their quarterback situation going forward. They may be getting Will Levis back here, and he hasn't had success with him yet. He's had, success with Mason Rudolph, just chucking the ball downfield. You got to see more of this, man, because it's just like we just saw 3 games. We've seen him play with Mason Rudolph, but this is his first game like that he's done well with him. I had to see more. I'm not buying it. You got the Chargers defense coming up. I like the Chargers defense. Minnesota defense is good, at least in the front 7 portion of it, right? And then you got Houston defense, which is one of the best defenses in the league in the front 7 and on the back end. So I need to see more out of Calvin Ridley before I'm like, oh, he back. Like, we know he's back, but he never left. But it's the offense and the situation that's kind of keeping us from going all in on him.
Our final one here, Jay. Sam LaPorta, he's got the Packers this week. He comes in as just tight end 11 for Matthew. Is there a roadmap for him to being back to being a top 10 tight end? I mean, this was the guy last year in his rookie season.
Yeah, he's the #1 tight end in fantasy coming into the season. Look, I think that the issue is that this offense, again, it's just too equal opportunity with guys like even like Amon-Ra St. Brown had 1 catch last week. I think this team is just too dominant with this run game. They're just too good overall. Like right now, I think this is the best team in the NFC, and they're just in these run scripts constantly, and it's the identity of the team to just bludgeon opponents into the ground once they have a lead. So Sam LaPorta is kind of, I think he's touchdown dependent. He's probably a higher end touchdown dependent tight end, right on the fringe of the top 10 tight ends. You're probably going to have to start him most weeks if you drafted him, but certainly like I'd be starting guys like Cade Otton and Jake Ferguson over Sam LaPorta for now.
Oh, what about Kyle Pitts? Would you start Kyle Pitts over LaPorta the rest of the season?
Kyle Pitts is a little fake in terms of his stats.
I don't know.
He's like not getting the first read targets, that kind of stuff.
He's been getting that production.
He's getting
he ain't even scoring touchdowns until this past week. He had 1. He have a 1.
I'd take Sam LaPorta over Pitts rest of the season.
All right.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it, but
no sheriff's badge for that
just
one?
asking the question.
But I'm not gonna put the sheriff's badge on that because
it's not over the line.
LaPorta, he good, man. He good.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.